I think this trip has been especially beneficial seeing that as a black woman growing up in Spokane, we're seen as like our success is very surprising, but like going to places like Spelman, it's a requirement. So I think that's been a really big shift. It also feels like there's so much more community here, even with like simple saying good mornings and good evenings and being able to see ourselves in all different forms of either people that are extroverts, introverts. I feel like we have so many black stereotypes faced in Spokane that we're not able to express our true selves unless we're around people that look like us, and to see ourselves in a bigger city and in the places where we can have a greater education without feeling like we have to minimize who we truly are.
Like I get that feeling a lot. I don't know if y'all do, but like if I go to the mall or something, or if like even with my own like family, like the way I talk or like the way I like to dress is intimidating for them, or like people will call it like ghetto or like thuggish, and I hate that like label on like the clothes I wear. And here like it's way different. Like everybody dresses like how they want to, and like it feels good to know like I could dress how I want and like look good without having to be scared of other people thinking I'm unprofessional.
And like I'd have to add on to that and be like, it's kind of like more of like comfortability, because like ever since like we got here, I felt like I've just been comfortable like walking around, being everywhere. Like it hasn't been like weird. Like even though I'm in a new place, new everything, like it doesn't seem like I'm out of the ordinary. I feel like I'm home, like you said, and like yeah.
He was talking about like in Spokane they be talking about thugs and like how I dress, bro. I hate that. It's like at Ferris, there's weird kids, not a lot of black kids at all. Nowhere. Here, it's all black for real. My people, you know?
One thing I will say about like people in Spokane, it feels like you're in a play, like you have to act a part and just play along with it. And I just can't tell you how many times I'll walk downtown or just even in my own school and people just staring at me, and you feel disconnected. And just nobody really gives you the time and day. And like again, people are always shocked by your success. And even just looking at all the MLK stuff and talking to people back home, like how shocked they were about stuff that I feel like we should already know, like we should already be looking in. And I'm so grateful I got that experience. And I was just talking about it, but it feels like here it's like a big family. Like I feel like I'm with my aunties and my uncles and my siblings and cousins, and I feel more relaxed than usual. So
I agree with everything everyone was saying, and it also felt like when I was taking this tour, when we were on Spelman's campus, we met like a bunch of girls from like Seattle, and they like related to us heavily on like being the minority in a majority like predominantly white area. And it was like they felt like they were our cousins. We started talking. We didn't even know like their names, and we were like, oh my gosh, girl, I love your hair. Where'd you get your hair done? Where do you get this? Where do you get that? Oh, where do you go to school? Oh, I know this place. And it felt like catching up with a friend you haven't like seen in a while. It didn't feel like meeting a stranger. And when we were on like Spelman's campus and just like going through Clark, Atlanta and everything, it was like they have this sense of community between all three HBCUs that is only found like is like a mirror of the black community. And when I was on that campus, I saw black people of all sorts. You know what I mean? I feel like in Spokane, there's a stereotype of black people and that we all fit into the same box and that we're all the same. And like, I feel like when I'm in Spokane, I can't necessarily like be me. I can't be myself, especially because like I'm an anomaly. I have an accent, you know. I'm into things that a lot of people don't, white people don't expect me to be into, you know. And whenever I start genuinely talking about like my passions and my interests, they're like, oh, you do that? They're like, you know, I didn't really think black people do that kind of stuff, you know what I mean? And it's like, whereas I was on Spelman's campus and the tour guide, she said something. She's like, black women aren't a monolith. Black people aren't a monolith, period. And when you're walking around Atlanta, you see all types of people, you know. You see people like dress the way they want to dress, and you can tell it's not like, they're not dressing as some type of like safety, you know, and they're not really following trends. There's just like more creative freedom in Atlanta, you know, without judgment. Like, I felt like being here with all of you guys, I felt like I was chopping it up with my brothers. So many of you guys remind me of my brothers, bro. Like, my Ronnie and Jeremy, I was like, bro, you guys are actually my little brothers. And, you know what I mean? I'm talking with the girls, I'm like, oh, that's my girl. Mind you, never met them before, forgot half of your names on the first day, but I was like, no, that's my girl. You know, and it's just like, I wish we had this type of community in Spokane, and I know it is possible because it's possible in some other parts, but there is some change that needs to happen, and we need to start feeling psychologically safe as black students of color in school.
For me, this field trip, I can say it's a blessing so much, and I'm so grateful to be here because being a black girl who grew up in Africa and then come to the United States, like I felt like it was a big change for me because the way I was dressing, the way like I was styling my hair, and then nobody was doing that like in Ferris, and then I was feeling like a stranger, and I didn't know how to explain like to my teachers like if like anything happened. I didn't know how to explain myself, but being here talking like to the people around me, I felt like I'm home. Like I'm really home. Like I'm feeling myself. You know, I don't have like to change myself. Like I don't have like to look myself 10 times in the mirror to make sure like I don't get judged. You know, I just have like to wake up. You know, I feel like it's really a blessing. You know, we're caring about each other. If like someone have like, oh, I'm not feeling well, everybody's like so concerned. Like, hey, are you okay? Something's going on. You know, it's really good. Not like they just tell you, oh, like you can go to the doctor, you can go to a medicine or anything. But here it's really good, like you sharing your concern with somebody who like understand you, who like can see what you're going through. It's really amazing, and I feel like if we have like more people like this in Spokane, it would be like the better thing ever. I don't have like to change myself for who I am for other people, you know. Sometimes you'll be walking like even the bus station, sometimes you go to a bus station, they'll be like asking you like 10 times like, hey, you have to do this, oh, you can't do this. But you see other people do it. It's really like really making me feel like I'm not secure. But here like everything was like feeling, oh good, so I can do this too. Like, you know, what Ronnie said, like you getting off the Uber, like have a blessing day. But some people in Spokane don't do that. Like you'll be so good, like you're leaving the Uber, they'll be like, oh, have a blessed day, you know. Sometimes you get in the Uber, you're not even feeling safe in your own Uber. But here, you're getting the Uber, you're like, oh yeah, anytime, I feel free. I don't even care where am I going, you know. It's really good. Sometimes, today I did sleep in the Uber when we were leaving. I never do that in Spokane because I'm not sure where am I going, where we're gonna end. So I don't want like to get in trouble, anything. Like here, I feel like I was home. I was like really, really good. Like I didn't have to show off like anything. I remember in school, like when I say something, I have to translate. So like the teacher understand like what am I saying. But here, I don't even have to use my phone or to explain anything. I just have to say it, and directly I'll be connecting people. You see, I don't really have to repeat myself, you know. The moment I say like I'm not feeling well, people will be concerned like, hey, are you okay? Do you need anything? You know, I don't have like to ask 3 or 4 times. I was really grateful to be here, and I would love like people like this to be more in Spokane. Like I would love that. And yeah, thank you for sure.
I just wanted to add on to what Michaela said because I feel like in Spokane I was holding myself to a really high standard, and I realized that was because I didn't want to be perceived as like the stereotypical black person or stereotypical black woman. But over here, I want to hold myself to that level of excellence because that's what everyone around me is. Like, I want to be on their same level, not because like I'm scared of being perceived a certain way. It's more like I want to enter those rooms that they're in. Like, it's so important to have representation because without it, it's like, can I really do that? Like, I don't see people like me being on those spaces, so like maybe I don't belong there. But coming to HBCUs and seeing like how tight knit the communities are and all that stuff, like it just really proves that like black culture is like here forever. Like it's so strong, and like the history is so long. HBCUs really help like in preserving that, and that's what black youth need. Like they need to be around black excellence so they can also turn into that excellence.
Just kind of going off that, I want to add like the fact that there is not only like a push to have excellence, especially at those HBCUs. There's not only a push, but there's also like a support, if that makes sense. So like it's not just that they're like asking you to do like when you said like the question of why is representing important, right? It's like you're representing like a whole culture, right? And the HBCUs, they really hold excellence high, but they also are willing to support you. And that's something that I felt all like being at Atlanta and just with you guys in this group. Yeah. I've had to defend myself like with being black, and I don't have to defend myself with you guys. Like I can just be with you guys, and you guys know me, I know you guys. And that's great because I just get that support from you guys, and even from Terry and just like all of you guys. You guys have really taken the time to build into students, and that is the best thing like that I can ever describe. And even just the support from Atlanta, the story that I have actually about an Uber, me, Terry, who was Faraha. It was you? Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were in this Uber, and Faraha had mentioned that I can sing a little bit, and so they asked me to sing, and so I sang in front of them. And I don't usually do that, but I felt like comfortable in that space. And then our Uber driver started preaching the word to us. Like she just started preaching how there is something that every single one of us has that we are born with, and that we like need to really build that gift and use it for good. Like God has given us that gift, and she was just preaching that and preaching that. I have never had that happen in my life. Someone like care that much, besides like Corey and like, Pastor Sean and all you guys, like care that much to tell me, no, that is a gift, you need to use it. And then we got to pray over her. It was amazing. And that's the type of community that I want in Spokane. And I loved what Nikita was saying, that we can have that at Spokane, but we need to make it happen. Like that is one thing for sure with having to be on the defensive. Here I've seen every color and shade of black that there can be, and I know that you don't have to be a certain shade to be called black. So yeah.
What I really like about like the college we did go, it was like you passing, you seeing people looking at you. They're like, "Hey, girl, you look good." You want to feel that. Like we know we're beautiful, but you just have like somebody to tell you like, "Oh, you look so beautiful," stuff like that. But you'll be like taking your entire time in the bathroom, and then you go to school and nobody will be like even tell you like, oh, I like your top, I like your anything. But here you be passing like, oh God, I like your hair. It's like, oh my goodness, I'm feeling something. I really like here. And if I apply like to college, and I'm hoping like to get here, because I'll feel like really welcome. I don't have to force myself. I don't have like, even though even though I make a mistake, I don't have like to make people attention to me like how other people do. Like a little mistake, they make it so attention. Oh my goodness, look what she said, look what she did. You see, I would love that. Like people need to change. They don't have like to like. How can I say this? Like they don't have to insult you because of your the way you pronounce. Especially me, the way I'm speaking like 5 language. It's really hard for me like to speak English without like mixing French. So I feel like when I say that in Spokane, I feel like people be like, oh, are you like mixed? Like English is like that. Like a little mistake just make people judge you for who you are. They don't even trying to know you. But here they don't have to do that. They just like feel like they make you like feel welcome. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, for sure.
Okay, one thing I really enjoyed is like how Vern was saying, like they're so deep in community here, like especially at the Spelman like college, their like sisterhood is so strong. Just being able to witness it was nice. And at the like Clark College down there, they have like families just selling their products and like getting their brand out there. Like it just makes my heart happy, like seeing young women and black men having a dream. And like, what is it called? And like they have a lot of different races out here and like more colored people. So like me seeing like colored police, like I don't always have to like worry about being profiled. And I'm like beyond blessed and thankful to be able to go on this trip. And I hope everyone like can get an opportunity. Like I believe everyone should like get like,
Yeah,
what is it called? Like I feel like everyone should have an opportunity for like this.
Another thing I was gonna say, it was like I remember I went into the restaurant like a few actually today, and I had to write my name, and then the cashier was like, "Oh, here's your order," and he could have just been like, "Here's your order," but instead he stopped and asked how to pronounce my name, and then he like wouldn't leave until he got it right, which in Spokane is basically non-existent, especially like being black. You know, it's a part of our culture, like across the diaspora, to have like unique names that are, you know, names that are unique to us and that hold so much in our culture. And also, like I like Faraha was saying, no one has questioned me on my accent here, not even once. No one has questioned me on my accent. No one has been like no one has asked me to like clarify what I'm saying, and so I feel more like comfortable to like speak with my accent, you know, whereas in Spokane I'm always like putting on, I feel like I'm putting on a personality that isn't mine, and I get so tired and worn out at the end of the day, because it's like when I show up as who I am, I'm constantly being like judged and looked at crazy, but it's just who I am. And you know, when you're around your friends, it's like, but it's different, you know. And I feel like we need that in Spokane. Even like seeing the way that the black people interact with people of other races, I don't know if a lot of people have been noticing it, but the way the white people interact with the black people here, it's like they speak to each other with like a level of respect, you know what I mean? It's like they speak to each other as human. They see you for who you are. They see you as like an individual, not just this stereotype that's made up in your mind, you know what I mean? And it's like everyone greets you, they're like, good morning, you know, everyone's so nice. Even when I was going to like, when we were at Six Flags, I was getting fries and the worker was tired and you could see it in her eyes, but she still like complimented my hair, and I complimented her and she goes, thank you, and she actually genuinely smiled. She didn't respond like a robot.
Another thing is like a lot of young women like and men like us, like some parents don't teach their kids like the historical background. So being able to go to these like museums and like the MLK church and learning about that, and the Rosa Parks, like getting more and learning about their family history, it just was like opening my eyes more, and I just really enjoyed it. Like I feel like everyone should experience it and like go to different museums down here, cause it's nice. Okay, take it away.
Real quick, I do have one quick thing to say. Kind of going off of like how I have kind of like a dream for Spokane. I have a dream of like people living their life like, you know, to serve other people, you know, not just like to serve yourself, but even like over here with like the little shops, you know, and like the, you know, small businesses, it's like people are investing in those. Or even while we were at the amusement park today, there was a woman who like, she was tired, like she was doing the Dippin' Dot, she was tired, and she was like, I'm just gonna give a few away for free, you know, I just wanna like, you know, do something kind. And then we said a kind thing to her, you know. It's just like living a life to like build other people up, not just yourself. That's a dream that I really have for Spokane and like all over the world, is instead of being like, you know, I'm right here and no one else can help me build up, like allowing yourself to be built up by others and living your life to build others up as well. Yeah, Ronnie just said, letting other people help you build yourself up.
I just wanted to talk like a little bit on our college experience, cause I know for us guys it was pretty fire. We met some New Jersey people. Like we we're talking about like their slang and our Spokane slang. We ain't really have nothing to give because it's trash. But
Like to add to that, like talking to them, like they said, like you just said, we like didn't like have much of a culture compared to like what they had. Like they're telling us like their version of slang, what they do, how they talk to each other. Like we don't have that in Spokane at all. Like it's crazy to me. Like it was honestly, it was crazy to hear, but like here we do have like a nice community, and I really do like everything that goes on. And just another thing to like add is with when it comes to like presenting yourself too, like Nevaeh was saying, like it feels like I can like be accepted, like what Faraha was saying, like I can really just be myself and talk the way I want. I don't have to explain myself. I don't have to dress too nice because that's the way like you're supposed to. Like I feel like one thing I hear a lot in Spokane is you don't want people to think like, you know, you want to dress good, you want to dress presentable, like you don't want to treat yourself like you're less than like what you are. And like I hate hearing that because like just because I like to dress a certain way or I talk a certain way shouldn't make me less of a person than what I already am. Like I don't know if that makes any sense, but like I really like I love like that I can just be myself like with everybody I know.
I'm just gonna second what everybody else has been saying so far. I also feel like being on this trip with you guys, I got to learn about you guys and everything because it's like in Spokane, it's like it's all about your school only, right? I don't get to hear about kids from Ferris. I don't get to hear about people from Shadle, you know, and all the other schools represented here today. And so it has been really fun getting to know you guys and hearing about your schools and hearing about what you guys are doing in your communities. And I continue that we kind of continue to grow together as like a whole of Spokane, you know. And I'm just like here to second that. And at this like during this trip, I felt welcomed. I felt represented. I've like experienced things that I've never experienced before. But I have also kind of felt a loss, you know, because it's like I'm a senior now and application season has already passed and everything. But it's like I see myself attending Spelman, you know, and that was the thing. Like I didn't apply for it because it's like I felt intimidated, right? Because it's like out of state. I have never, you know, been in a space occupied by mainly Black people, even though it's like something I desire truly, right? But it's like I can't go and apply. I mean, I could, but you know, it's like not the same. And so like this trip has like showed me that like there is a space for me somewhere else, you know, and not just like the spaces that have been encouraged at school. Cause like at school we're encouraged to like apply for UW, or apply to we're encouraged to apply to WashU, like all the in-state schools, and not really venture out. And when we are encouraged to venture out, it's like scary because they're like, oh, like out-of-state tuition is like much more expensive and everything. But it's like being on Clark Atlanta and Spelman, it has really showed me that like I should have, you know, applied. But this is the thing, like I want younger like students to also have the chance to go to these campuses and be able to see themselves in places that they've never imagined. Because your place could not be Washington State University, right? It could not be somewhere in state. It could be somewhere like Clark Atlanta, you know, or Spelman or Morehouse. So that's it.
To piggyback off of what Mercy said, just the community and like this whole trip, I would love for every Black student in Spokane to be able to go into this trip and experience it because we've had so much fun. We've played games, we've had conversations, and we've also gotten advice from other people. Like when I was talking to Nikita about a situation that happened at Ferris High School, she gave me some advice that I should reach out to certain people and say certain things so that they can take the situation that we went through seriously. And it's like I would have never gotten that from someone else, let's say from Ferris, who has never experienced it, because we don't know what to do after that. And so I felt like that was great. And also just being able to get out of Spokane and being in Atlanta, because just the community here is so amazing, and you feel at peace when you're here rather than in Spokane, as like how almost everyone has said, like you feel out of place and everyone's looking at you a certain way. And you have to like make certain friends to fit in a certain society or a certain like friend group, and it's just like it gets tiring. Like some people would say like white fatigue. Like here you don't experience it. It's like it's amazing.
Another thing that I wanted to add with all the things that we were saying about community is that Black community also enhances Black culture and Black joy. I feel like in Spokane we lack that so much because we're so afraid of what people are gonna say about us. Like when we're laughing with our friends, we're too loud, too disruptive, and like seeing that people are actually happy here and they feel at home and they feel connected. It's easier to have conversations with strangers and being like, hey, good morning, greetings, and putting yourself out there, whereas in Spokane it feels intimidating in that you're always so isolated because of what we've been taught of, like, we're gonna take up too much space if we are who we truly are.
I honestly, like, to add to that, like you truly do see that a lot. Like I feel like one thing, like for example, when we're walking downtown and like we're just all laughing and we're like able to express like our joy, just being ourselves, like really being able to just be happy without having to silence ourselves, like you just said, like because that's the social norm. Like that's what people want you to be, like quiet, well mannered. Like we truly gotta like just be ourselves. Even in like the restaurants we didn't went into, like we didn't get judged for even if we were like a little loud, even if we were laughing, just having a good time. We didn't get shut down like you would in other places. We got almost like encouraged to like even when we went got Jimmy John's or whatever it was, Jersey Mike's. Those guys were like real nice and they're like asking questions. Like they want to know like what's going on, and it feels good to know like I can just be happy here without having that be restricted because somebody wants me to be quieter and mannered.
And what I just don't understand is that why it has to take us to come to like either another city, another country, or even another continent, and then for us to feel Black excellence. Why can't we feel it within our own community, like our own home? I just don't understand that fact.
I just wanted to add that, like, I don't really understand why Black people are always like frowned upon, because every good thing that's happened in history, Black people have been there. Like, we've always been there. We built this country single-handedly. Like, this country is just as much as ours as any other, like, any other race, any other minority. Like, we should not feel like, it's just so shocking to me that we literally built this country, but we're still, like, frowned upon. It's so insane. I feel like we need to, like, disregard all the stereotypes, and we have positive things. We need to look at that. Like, African women are the most educated women in the U.S. I want to be a part of that. Like, I want to be a part of that. I want to be a part of that excellence. Like, we should look at things like that. And instead of being like, oh, this person's going to think I'm a thug, like, they're going to think I don't belong here. Like, we built this country. We belong here. Like, it's our country. It's literally our country.
I remember growing up in a mostly like white, like, you know, like mostly white people, and obviously like, you know, people like having to defend myself and stuff. A big part of that was I used to always have people tell me, they were like, you're too loud. Like, I was like, what do you mean I'm too loud? Like, that I'm just expressing myself. Like, when I'm happy, I'm just expressing myself. And I'm a very loud person. Everyone here can attest to that. Like, I am loud. But it was so nice being here because everyone's loud, you know? And even if you're quiet, you know, like, that's okay. Still, when we're having fun, like, you're gonna laugh pretty loud, you know, because we're in a space just having fun, having a good time. And that's something that back at Spokane, like, I didn't experience a lot. I was always told, shut up, and always told to, like, be quieter. Here, it's all about your voice. You have a voice.
Absolutely. Oh, man. So, through this whole trip, I've been talking about waves with Stacy. And one thing I thought of was that with waves, they always bring something to the shore. And I felt like during this time, a new perspective is brought to the shore that I've never seen before. I have always been told to be polite and to shut down my voice. I don't need to be talking, and it is not okay for me to even be expressing myself. But on this trip, truly I can't think of not one person that told me throughout this trip, why are you acting like that? Be yourself. Don't be using words that people are telling you to. All of those things like changed my perspective of what type of play was I playing in Spokane. How people saw me, how I wanted them to see me, how I was trying to fit in so hard in these groups at Ferris. It is so frustrating to be in a classroom and to be the last person picked, to be the last person people, you know, you're too afraid to even join the dance team or too afraid to do things because all you see is one color and you don't see anybody else, or even in choir, like I've been saying, like there's no people of color, and I don't understand. That's like, it's such a frustrating thing. And being here, it just felt like home. Like I wasn't so stiff. I wasn't so like, if you see me at school, I'm very just, oh, bubbly, because that's what I've been taught to do. But it was a different type of bubbly. It felt like a safe and I just appreciate this trip for that. So that's what I gotta say.
Yes. Okay, one thing I noticed, like a lot of black parents, they like choose unique names for their children. And me, I have a unique name, and this one girl, she was like trying to make fun of my name, even though we're not gonna talk about her name, but like she was telling me how like people used to bully her for her name. So I was just like thinking like it's okay to be original and stay true to yourself because like you should not go out your way to change yourself to fit in and be someone who you're not. Like it's good to stay true to yourself.
I feel like black women are being like we're being like criticized a lot that we forgot like who we are. Sometimes like I feel like when I heard the word like black, I say like gold, I see jewelries, I see like richer, I see intelligent, I see like proud, I see so many things. But when you grow like in different area, when you hear black, you see like simple, you see like quiet, you see like something like that. You need, But when I grow up, like in my culture, my mom was telling me, your culture comes first, education comes second because your culture, you already have education, your culture teach you and then you go to school to get something else. So I feel like we should put our culture first before we put everything, because I feel like I'm just gonna say this because I feel like most of the black girl, they try to change themselves, because they didn't get like that to be told like where they come from, where they are for real, But I would love to see most of the black girl like in Spokane to be like they know like where they come from, like where the race come from, and to be proud of where they are, Most of them you'll be asking them, they'll be like, I'm Black American. Yeah, it's good to be Black American, but like, where's that black come from? Like, where are you? Me, for real, if you ask me, like, what's your race, I won't say I'm Black American, I will tell you just I'm black, because I'm proud to be black. I love people telling me, like, you black, like, I love that. I would love so many people to be like, just be proud to be the world, like, I'm proud to be black. It's not anything. I think, like, so many people are so afraid to say, like, oh, I'm just black, something like that, and I would love so many black girls to be proud of their hair. I remember I did cut my hair because I did get bullied about my hair, the way it looked. I did cut my hair, and then I realized, like, nobody have my hair. Nobody have my hair. I'm the only one who have that hair, so I don't know where I even cut it. So my mom was telling me, why did you cut your hair? You're the only one in school who have that kind of hair. Why did you even cut it? And then I was like, you're right. You know what? I'm gonna bring my hair back. And thanks God, and I love being black. My hair grew in 1 year, and they're so good. Now they have like, oh my God, I'm gonna have them on Monday. So it's really, really beautiful. And I would love every black girl to just be proud to have your afro hair. And when you don't, how can I say it? When you call yourself black, don't feel afraid to wear jewels, wear everything you wanna do. Like, don't feel everything like afraid. I remember when I come here, I shouldn't wear scarves at school because I was like, I didn't see any like girls wear scarves at school. I was like, oh, maybe people will laugh at me, maybe people will think like this. But I was like, you know what? Whatever, I'm gonna do it. So yeah, I love what we have here. Like, I love to see many people like different style. I'm like, oh girl, I'm gonna do that too. I love the sisterhood we have here and the brotherhood. Like, I would love this to continue. You guys, like, when we see each other like at the bus stop and stuff, we'd be like, hey, what's up, bro? How you been doing? We don't want this to stop here. We can also like bring it to school. I didn't know Mary, but we didn't like have this good connection that we do have right now. I didn't know national school. Like, we were like, sometimes we'll be like passing each other, but like, right now we're like sister. We're like talking to her like our language. Like, it's really, really good. I have so many people here. Even Eve, like sometimes I remember this Eve like so many times at school, but we didn't really have a chance to talk. But here we're like besties. We're like caring about each other. Like, I would love this to continue even way back at Spokane. Maybe some people like who are like sophomore, freshmen, they will get that, we can also start this. This is like something, this is good. Like, you guys are feeling, you guys don't know how much I'm feeling, but I'm feeling so good. Like, this is really, really good. Yeah.
All right. Well, what I want to talk about is like my experience at Morehouse. All the people over there was cool. It was cool to talk to, when they used to talk, when they were talking to each other, like it was cool. Like in their when he was talking about their slang and stuff. Yeah, it was cool. It was cool find that out. And then they were like, what was it? It was like hey. Oh yeah, it was like hey, and the other was like yo. Yeah, it was cool find out, and then like them talking to us like made all of us like really want to like apply and go there. Like that's what we were all talking about when we like left. And then so we all got like stuff. So I'm literally wearing like stuff right. I'm literally wearing stuff right now. I'm wearing stuff right now. But like so yeah. So like I'm thinking about applying to it though. For sure. All right. So that's it though. That's it.
That's a Morehouse man right there.
No, but
Okay.
You got this, girl.
Okay. The trip overall was really eye-opening because in Spokane, like it just feels really like you just feel stuck. I feel like being black in Spokane because there's obviously not many people who look like us. But yeah, so it felt really refreshing being here, even though it wasn't for that long. But yeah, I'm really grateful we got to come. And
Going back to what Faraha said on just being able to be you even in your like Africanness, because when like people ask you, oh, like where are you from, and it's like, oh, I'm like, say, because I was born in Minnesota, I was like, oh, born from Minnesota. They're like, no, where are you from, and I'm like, I'm Kenyan, like, you know what I mean? And it's like just being able to say I'm Kenyan from the get-go is what's like comforting too. And like when you tell someone like you're from an African country and they don't immediately say, oh yeah, I went there on a missionary with my church and I went there to help in the rural areas. I was like, wait, yes, I love that. But it's like, what else did you see in Kenya? Because it's like a beautiful country and there's like different places to go and visit there that you would have so much fun. And it's just like just being able to talk to someone about just something different aside from missionaries and helping out with the rural areas and how it's like poor or like struggling countries. Yeah.
Kind of going off of what Nasha just said, this is like unrelated, but I've noticed that a lot of the churches that go to these poor African countries, they don't go to poor African countries, they'll go to like well-known African countries, but they'll go to like specific poor areas and they'll help out people there, but they can't even help out the people in their own city.
Yeah.
You want to go, it's so performative. It's like, and also like speaking from a Christian perspective, it's not right. Like they only go there and then they film them, you know what I mean? And then they go on vacation, they go to the safari, they're enjoying nature and everything. And I'm like, you can't even help the homeless people down the street because you assume they're on drugs. And even if they are, so what? And then, sorry, I just went on a whole tangent. That irritates me. But another thing is, one thing I love about Atlanta is how connected the diaspora is. A lot of the times when you go online, I hate like diaspora wars, but there've been more of them like in the past few years than I've ever really noticed, you know? And it's like when you come to Atlanta, you see black people from all corners of the earth. Like we were on an Uber, I was on an Uber with Miss Stacy earlier, and our Uber driver was talking about his experience going back and forth from like England to Jamaica, you know what I mean? You go to other places and it's like we see each other for who we are and we see how connected we are. And yes, we do have some slight differences, but we're all very similar. In different way, it feels like we're cousins, you know? It feels like the oceans separated us millions of years, well, many years ago, but it's like we're still connected in some way, you know? And I'm speaking about, it's also like the ignorance about like Africa as a whole and just like black people as a whole. It's like I'm telling people, people ask like where I'm from, and I'm like, oh, they ask about my accent. I'm like, oh, I was born and raised in South Africa, but my parents are Rwandan, but I consider myself more culturally South African. And they're like, oh my gosh, do you not have water? How do you speak English? And I'm like, and then they start with like all the stereotypes. I'm like, how do you speak English? And they're like, what do you mean you're from the suburbs? What do you mean you've been to predominantly white schools your entire life? And I'm like, did we not learn history? Mind you, these are AP kids. Well, we study this. I can point it out in the textbooks. We were there together. when we study this, you know. And it's just like the monolith. It's the idea. Whenever people bring up like languages, like the average foreign or African, like my parents speak 5 languages. Their English is not that good. Their English is really good, but they just have thick accents, and the way they're treated because of their accents in Spokane. But coming here, and I have my accent and not one person blinked. You know, I'll be speaking and someone asks about like obviously my accent and everything, and I'm like, no, I actually speak 4 languages. And they're like, how? They're like, you? They're like, are you sure? You speak 4 languages? Are we sure about that? And I'm like, what do you mean? Yes, it's actually very common where I'm from to speak multiple languages, you know. And even like AAVE, a lot of people, one thing I don't like is how it's not recognized as another language when it is. African American Vernacular English, and the way it's getting gentrified and how it's not getting its flowers. Like, I'll be in school and a lot of people are using it incorrectly and they're like, it's TikTok slang. And I'm like, no, black people have been speaking like this for years and years and years and years and years. What do you mean it's TikTok slang? This is not new. I knew this growing up in South Africa, different continent. You know this, you don't know this, and you're from this country, born and raised? I had someone ask me, like the second week I came to America, they were like, what is the KKK? Ask me. What do you mean, what's the KKK? This was in an English honors class.
Also, to add on to that, like people always asking us those type of questions, I feel like people really need to get in touch and realize that black people are not like there to teach them everything. Like, we had to experience this stuff and we learned about it. You can also go pick up a book. You can go on the internet. Like, it's not hard. Asking us all these like ignorant questions when like, you know, like it could be offensive or it's just like uncomfortable. You can search it up yourself. We're not here to teach you. We're not gonna walk you through like you're a baby. Like, you're grown enough to understand. You're grown enough to do your own research. We're not your teachers. Like, no.
After this trip, I feel confident and outspoken.
Grateful and inspired.
For me, I feel empowered and I feel like I have a dream.
I also feel empowered and I feel comfortable being in my skin.
I feel like I can do more.
I feel inspired and empowered and honestly just beyond blessed.
I feel belonged and really connected with my roots here.
Grateful and grateful.
After this trip, I felt powerful, grateful, and I can speak up for myself.
I'm beyond grateful for this trip, and I feel like everyone had a different glow to them. Like, I love this weather, and I will be back.
I feel refreshed and brave.
After this trip, I feel blessed, loved, and empowered.
I feel inspired and blessed.
I feel empowered, I feel grateful, and I feel like I found myself.
So yeah. Oh, I feel good. I feel good, great, and I learned stuff. I learned more stuff for sure. So yeah.
Let's give it up for each other.